with my computer the whole time. Oh, God. Hold up. We will be going through all of the Tabar. Well, let me check right up here for it. Come on. Man, oh my fucking god, background.
Keep close. Stick together.
Oh, I leveled up? Oh no. I know what to do. I know what to do.
Look out! Not all buildings are without grace. This place has a real peace to it.
Oh, we got a nice catch here. Nice, nice. Fresh meat, and it got a fair amount on you. Boy, you're gonna cook up nicely.
Cook?
Oh, yes, we'll do you justice. A few sprigs of scragweed and some cogroot. Oh, and you'll be just right for us. I'll get you.
Keep close! Fight together!
Cannibals.
Just give me a minute to calm down, will you? Calming. Calming. Whew. Shit. A moment longer and those cannibals would have had me over the fire. There's enough creatures out here trying to eat me without people trying it as well. Shit, shit. That's not something I want to go through again. Hell. You've not got anything to drink, have you? Something to help a man get his head screwed back on?
Here. This should help.
Ah, that's good. There's something about a near-death experience that makes everything taste golden. You saved me. I mean, you saved my life. And I've learned a lot about Magaland's history. But cannibals? I haven't heard of anything like that since the dark days after the comet hit. Most of what we live on in Tavar is from the past. So history is profitable. Interesting, too. You should learn it.
What are you doing out here?
The light beacon. I've always been fascinated by them. They used to be a cry for help. Or a way to give help, direction, guidance. I've seen leaders come and go in the fort, and there's only one constant. You have to rely on yourself. So, I look for ruins, visit the beacons, and I find things to earn shards, so I don't need anyone else.
Brave for someone at your age.
My age? Age is bullshit. Wrinkled or smooth-skinned, life throws the same shit at you. I know these lands better than to come alone. I was traveling with a pair of scrap collectors. They needed a lead. I needed some help. On our way there, we got ambushed by a group of clerics. I didn't want a chance to fight with them. They were much better armed. So I got out of there.
What happened to the scrap collectors?
They didn't make the same choice. That's the problem with some people of their age. They think every fight is winnable. They think running away is the wrong thing to do. Yet, here I am at my age. I just wish I'd had their legs for running. The clerics caught up with me and took me prisoner. I'm here, aren't I? I waited until it was dark and I got out. I guess they thought I was too old to guard. And I got away with their leader's weapon. I think that must have made them angry. Now those clerics are out hunting for me. You can hear their horns. That's why I thought I'd head for the beacon. Get some scrap, and get myself back to Tavar. Shards would mean safety. But you know what happened next? Damn Reavers. Life sure is cheap out here.
Tell me about Magellan's past.
Gladly. What would you like to know?
How much do you know about the clerics?
Secretive lot. They probably know more about history than the others, but they keep it to themselves. But this god they believe in, Kalan. I haven't seen anything anywhere about this god in records from before the comet hit. Why they've created a god and worship technology? Well, I can't understand it. Everything else they do is about knowledge and fact and observation. So why invent a lot of hocus pocus to go with it?
Why did the clerics have so few men?
The wars. They put their faith in their fighting machines. But either their prayers weren't answered or they had a technological hitch. They went into battle with the berserkers and their machines shut down. They were defeated. Heavy losses. Those left retreated into Ignadon. Anyone that didn't make it back was cut down by one faction or another. The clerics' numbers never recovered. I guess they must have fixed whatever the problem was with their fighting machines. It's never happened again.
What do you know about the berserkers?
They were a group living up in the woods, trying to grow their own food, and they evolved from there. Everyone else was fighting for what was left, but they decided to make something new. It was some guy called Amric that started them. The new guy they have there, Thorold, the Pilgrim, sees himself as some sort of spiritual successor to Amric. He has changed things there. They're pushing out into the world more than they did. The Berserkers used to stay in Edan mostly. They'd fight to protect their borders, make assaults outside them, then pull back. Now they're holding ground. It seems the Pilgrim wants to purify all of Edan. They're gonna use their world hearts to change the world. They want to use their magic to turn the clock back and make Magellan what it was. Well, they'll change it. But whether Magellan was ever like they say, that's just a fantasy.
Tell me about the factions.
Well, they're recent history. I mean, they only came about after the comet hit. Before that, there were countries and governments. Millions of people organized into groups. Nothing like now. But the comet destroyed all that. There aren't really records from after the comet hit. No one was writing things down. They were just trying to survive. No leaders. All the things they relied on to survive had gone. But it didn't take long for people to form groups to get resources. And it didn't take long for those people to start fighting. All factions think they've got ways to save us. They're all just ways people are trying to survive.
So, there are a lot of gaps in your knowledge of history?
Well, some. There were more records kept during the territory wars. That was once the factions had formed and started fighting each other. I guess as soon as you're a group, you want to start keeping a history of who you are. History becomes more important. Anyway, instead of fighting over 1 or 2 tins, the factions started fighting over land. ELEX. Resources. Any small factions that were left got absorbed or destroyed. I mean, these people were survivors, so you'd think that's what they'd want. To survive. Instead, there were yet more deaths. There aren't numbers, but I'd guess at least half of those still alive were killed. But that's just a guess. Finally, the people in charge realized the cost was too high, so they formed a council, the Great Council of Magellan, and made a non-aggression treaty.
A non-aggression treaty? That doesn't seem to have worked.
Well, peace is always fragile. The Berserkers and Clerics have totally different ideas about ELEX and technology, for a start. But, after all the deaths, the factions knew they risked their own destruction if they fought anymore. So, the peace lasted, more or less. There are always some hotheads, some isolated clashes over resources. But the leaders brought their people back into line. All the factions rebuilt their lands, worked on their own rules.
So, what went wrong?
The Alps. They were just a small splinter group. They went up into Zakor, into the ice, and no groups were interested in that land. They built their strength, and then they invaded. The factions were taken completely by surprise. The Alps captured people, land, built their converters before the factions could respond. What happened to the prisoners, the dead? History doesn't speak of that.
I've heard enough.
At least you did listen. That's not always the case today.
Tell me about Tavar.
Well, it might not seem like there's a lot of history here, but this place hasn't always been desert. When the comet hit, it turned this place into the wasteland you see. But not everything was destroyed. Some building complexes, like the fort, survived. Others were buried. When the sand shifts, other buildings appear. And then all the things that were left in them are there for the taking. Not that everything that's buried is good. Logan, the Duke as he's known today, they're sitting on a powder keg. Back before the comet hit, they stored weapons there. Serious, end-of-the-world weapons. And they're still there, somewhere, along with a whole stack of the usual kind.
You think the fort will blow up?
I know it doesn't feel safe knowing they are there. Maybe all it takes is a mistake. Maybe it takes an earthquake. But there's a real risk there. Hell, maybe the clerics or someone knows about those bombs already. Maybe someone will try and set them off. That's why I want shards. I want to be a long way from here if those things ever go off.
Give me the cleric's weapon.
Why should I give it to you?
We help each other out, right?
Well, you had a beer from me. So yeah, all right. You can have it.
Is there something you need?
No, I'm okay. Don't waste your time on my old bones. The only thing I'm interested in is stories. And I don't think you are the storytelling type.
What do you know about the Alps?
Hardly anyone knows anything about them. I mean, other than about their attacks.
Maybe I could tell you a story about them.
Now I am curious. Do you know why they use ELEX?
It makes them stronger, of course. Greater strength, lower levels of fatigue, reduced pain. It turns men into fighting machines, and not just physically. ELEX keeps them clear thinking. It removes the emotions that could get in the way of orders.
So it means no one can argue with orders.
It reduces the chances. That's one of the reasons Alps are so successful. They operate together without question.
Not all of them. Some operate alone.
Then you've heard of the Elexitors? They rule in Zakor. They still consume ELEX, but they are given a command role.
You mean like Wardek and Kallax? Or Jax? Have you heard of them?
Yes, they are names to be feared. Though I had heard that Jax had disappeared.
So the rumors say. What else do you know about the Alps?
That they have as good as or better knowledge of technology than the clerics. That's because you and them have something in common.
Me? What have I got in common with Alps?
An interest in history. The Elexitors, well, I don't know for sure, but they have found some fragments of old world information. They're using that knowledge.
They're interested in the old world?
No, not at all. They just want the technology. Interest is emotional. The past is something that's gone. They want the future.
Interesting. Not many people seem to think about what the Alps want.
That's all I know.
That was very informative. Thank you.
How long are you going to stay here?
I think I will get comfortable here. Maybe I'll even get this light tower working. Man needs something to do in life.
How are you?
I'm doing all right, thank you.
I'm in.
I'll wait here for you.
Okay.
Let's do this.
There's a lot of instances in this game where you're like, fuck it.
Count on me.
Shoot. Eat up. Come on.
This is nice. I'd like to spend some time here. When all this is over. I'll wait here for you. I'm back with you. Go on.
For this area, you gotta have like for this area radiation. I hope I'm not forced to join a fucking faction. That would be ass. That would literally be fucking ass. That I'm forced to fucking join that faction.
is a nice place.
I want to see a company party. I think I'm probably going to dump a lot of points of my points into BCL. No, not BCL. Well, I'm thinking of bestiality. How much points do I? 3. More likely I'm going to be dumping off most of it into personality.
Have faith. Something always turns up.
Teach me something.
Of course.
But by how much? Then we'll answer the 4 and talk to everybody.
Well, look who we've got here. A newbie. You've got balls walking around out here. The creatures out here tend to eat people who do that. You can relax. We took care of the creatures. That's what we do out here.
Who are you?
People call me Bullet. So, I guess you can do the same.
What do you do here?
We're exterminators. We deal with any creatures that approach the fort. You know, we stop them eating people.
You're not very chatty, are you?
What do you want to talk about? The weather? It's hot. The creatures? They're nasty. The converter? It's an alb curse that attracts monsters. That chatty enough for you? Or do complete strangers always tell you their life history? So, you want to get into the fort?
I'm not sure I want to go in.
Oh, you'll want to come inside sooner. Or later. You'll need supplies. Once you're in, look for William on the bridge out by the scrap district. Tell him we need more men here. Tell him if I don't get them, he should lock his door at night. Because when we're dead, the streets will be full of creatures, and they'll be coming to gnaw off his nutsacks next.
What kind of creatures are we talking about?
Well, you've been out there, and everything out there wants to get in here. But recently, there have been more of those animals with machines embedded in them. You ask me, it's some sort of plan by the clerics or the elves to wipe us out. Never stop watching. Never stop watching. Not if you want to stay alive.
I think this is it.
It's amazing that it's still here.
Uh,
There was something hanging there.
The rotting remains of a long-gone civilization.
It is not efficient for us to talk.
You should talk to someone else. I can't help you.
Halt. Who are you? What's the password?
I don't know the password.
And yet you expect me to believe you are who you say you are? You've walked onto our ground, so I will ask you again. How did you find us?
By accident. I was just traveling through here.
An accident? I hope that's true. Regrettably, I think we have a lot to learn when it comes to fieldcraft. I'll have to make sure we take better care from now on. Making your presence known in Tavar is an invitation for trouble.
You seem worried.
Tavar, the garbage dump of Magaland. You'd think dealing with undisciplined outlaws would be easy, but it just makes them unpredictable. This is my third mission out here, and the third time we've been hit by surprise attacks. We've lost too many men realizing what the real threat these outlaws are.
You've taken casualties?
Several dead. One man taken prisoner. We've come back here to regroup. I'm not leaving anyone behind. We're going to have to find a way into that fort, then we'll have to shoot our way out, or we'll need to get one man inside to sneak him out. Either way, it's a risky venture for us all. And we don't even know if he's still alive.
Why are you here?
To find out what's happening. Ever since the Duke took over here, the lines of communication with Ignadon have been shut down. Baxter might have been a maniac, but at least he talked to us. Now, this Duke and his men, they came out of nowhere and they've destabilized the whole of Tavar. We want to know if he's a threat, or if he'll start talking to us.
Maybe talking can make a difference.
It has in the past. I can't say I'm confident about our chances, but we have to try.
Can I help you get your man back?
Right now, I'll take whatever help I can get. I want to get Frank home safely, and I fear if I go in after him, I'll just get him killed. You probably stand more chance than us. The outlaws are used to people passing through. They welcome all in the name of profit. It's not like they'll trust you, but they'll allow you in.
What's your plan for getting your man out of the fort?
Well, we can just ask them. The outlaws aren't going to suddenly start abiding by old agreements from the Great Council of Magalan. ELEX is the only thing they respect. If we offer enough, the Duke should agree to set him free.
The Great Council of Magellan?
Yes. That was almost 100 years ago. There was constant warfare that threatened to destroy us all. It was the clerics who brought all the factions together to sign a non-aggression pact to save us all. No peace reigned for almost 40 years. But during that time, each group was increasing, growing in size, becoming more committed to their cause. It just made the next war all the bigger.
Why doesn't anyone keep to the pact now?
Because as a species, we're actually pretty damn dumb. And I'm not excluding the clerics here. In those days, the clerics were fighting the berserkers over an ELEX deposit. They needed it for their mana. We needed it to drive our machines. When we weren't able to reach agreement, weapons began to speak instead.
And there's been war ever since?
The Horde assumed the war would be short. Back then, we didn't know the power their mana can unleash. We were arrogant. We assumed the technology we'd stockpiled, the weapons we developed would be enough. Then Berserker's magic grew stronger, until one battle where our machines failed. Whole squadrons of our troops were wiped out. We haven't recovered from that defeat, even today.
You left the outlaws out of your story.
Because they aren't worth my breath. They were violating the resolutions almost as soon as the Council had made them. Their attacks mostly consisted of small raids, but it was only a matter of time before they tried something bigger.
I've heard enough.
Good. Let me know when you're planning to head to the fort. We have to free our man.
Where can I find the Duke?
He's normally up in the biggest building in Tavar. A tower up in the fort. You can't miss it once you're in there.
Give me the Elexit. I'll pay to get your man out.
Very well. I'll put our man's fate in your hands. That elixir is going to buy the freedom of my friend. Don't let it go astray.
Just a thought. Don't worry.
Ruins, dust, and sand everywhere. And still, I'm convinced that
Probe IR-570 is providing good pictures. Maintain orbit. Correction to H-62's orbit came too close to the atmosphere. M-25 reported a malfunction 20 minutes ago. Distress call initiated. Delivering unusable data. New data received from IR-570. Data updated into the computer. There was a slight change to the object's trajectory. Recalculated the countdown twice. No serious change.
too easy.
I wonder what this place used to be. Keep close! Fight together!
You have an iron and cookies.
Hey, welcome back to the gates of paradise. I hope your stay in the wilderness was productive and profitable. The fort bids you welcome. And you get 100 shard discount because of your previous payment. Not bad for a way into this little slice of heaven, is it?
Forget it. I won't pay.
Forget? How could I forget the man that turned down paradise over a few lousy shards? Paid the shards, so you and I are gonna have a problem.
There's no entrance fee. This is a con. I'm not paying.
Well, as I'm the one in charge of who comes in, and I'm saying there's a fee, there's a fee. People who don't pay hurt the fort. And if you hurt the fort, you'll hurt me. You'll regret that. Oh.
Never stop watching.
And
I don't have any time right now.
there's an amulet. Amulet.
It's good to see you.
What goods have you got?
But of course.
Harpoon.
Be safe out there.
What goods?
Yeah.
You have a good day.
Have you ever been in the cage?
Yeah, I was...
Not now.
Hey, you look like someone who knows the value of shards.
What do you want?
Want? I want to share the secret of ELEX. I want to share the secret of wealth.
Why do you want to share it with me?
Share it with you? No, I want you to share it with me. I'm broke and you aren't. So I'm the one who needs advice here.
How do you survive here?
I fight. I fight. In the arena. When I can get someone to face me. These days, I have to get by on any wins Big Jim will pick out for me. Oh, there's nothing like that payday high.
This was comme ça. Yeah.
So, you fight in the arena?
Yeah, I fight, they pay. I'm the man. I've been the man in the arena for years. Years. Before Big Jim.
I don't see how you could earn anything from fighting.
Hey, you wanna try? I've killed men in the arena. I just need a few stims. Just to get me back on my feet. I get some stims and I'll be fine. I just need some stims.
Stims will help you fight?
Just a few. You ever try fighting while doped up, drunk, or dog-tired after a fuck? Forget about it. You're no use. But a few stims. A few stims and then I am on it.
What can you tell me about Big Jim?
You want to know about Big Jim? He's the boss here. The champ. He earns the proper money.
I challenge you to a fight.
You? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you'll give me the shards. One more fix, and I'll be clean. Then I'll be back. Okay. You got one shot. If you think you can take it, you won't get a rematch. You ready?
We should drink to it.
Yeah. No. No, afterwards. If you're still standing. Here, take it back.
So it's true. You can't take your drink.
What? Who said that? I can outdrink and outfight anyone here.
Come on then. Have a drink.
All right. Okay, I'll show you.
Right. Are you ready for the arena? Or should I wait for you to take a stim?
No. No, I don't need a stim. What do you think I am? An addict?
No. Addicts need it. You could take this and walk away.
You're right. I could. I can stop any time.
Because you're a strong guy.
Yeah, exactly. Now give me that stuff.
Is one going to do it? Shouldn't you take more?
Who? I'm not sure. I'm not feeling too good.
I thought you'd taken a lot of these. Haven't you built up a tolerance?
You'll regret this. Ooh, that's powerful stuff. I'm with the... there's... Oh, I'm not feeling so good. That's... Fuck. Ugh!
Get me a drink. And something to eat. And not just beans. Get me something decent. Well, what are you waiting for? Go get it.
Get it yourself.
Are you on chems, or just dumb? Do as I say, or I'll shove your head so far up your ass you'll be kissing your own tonsils. Give me a drink. Get me some food. Get them for me now. Doing that would be a good move on your part. You'll want me to owe you a favor when all my plans come together.
What plans?
What plans? What do you think, I'm stupid? You think I'm gonna tell you that? The Duke might be in charge now, but he won't be running things forever. Someday, someone is gonna take his place. And when they do, you'll want them to be a friend of yours.
Is that so?
Defeating Baxter doesn't make him immortal. The Duke might have the fort now, but remember, no one thought Baxter could be overthrown, and where is Baxter now?
So you want to replace the Duke?
Look at me and tell me I wouldn't make a better leader. And once I roll, Nasty will be at my side as my warrior. Work. working closely with each other. Very closely. And we could use someone like you. Or are you all talk? Come on, get the drink, take the deal. The future is waiting for you. You should start listening to people in the know, or you're gonna get left behind.
What do you do here?
I'm Big Jim. Big Jim. I own the arena here. People shit in their pants when they hear they have to face me. And that means people won't cross the Duke if it risks them ending up in the arena with me. And the Duke knows the arena will earn him shards because people want to see me.
What makes you think you can take over from the Duke?
Focus, discipline, and power. I'm focused on my goals, disciplined in my focus, and I focus on my goals. And my goal is power. And my secret weapon? I'm a people person. Unlike the Duke, people love me. They can see I'm a winner. They know I have enough followers to sweep the other factions from Magaland. Believe in the Big Jim plan and feel the power inside you. And for early adopters, I'm offering a stack of grenades as a special gift, if I can get someone to make them.
I can make grenades.
Any idiot can make grenades.
Any idiot can blow themselves up with a faulty trigger pin.
With a what?
Exactly.
Ah, I like you. You're smart. I can use smart. Here, take these parts. Work your magic.
About the arena. What are the rules?
You'll find out when you get in there. You choose a challenger and you meet them in the arena. Then you fight. You win, you take the money. You lose, you take the injuries and you take them like a man.
So you fight alone?
1 against 1. You fight alone, you fall alone.
Who can I challenge?
Me, if you got the balls. Then there's Ike and Gunn. You might find a few others, if you think you got what it takes.
So I can challenge you?
Not until you've proved yourself by fighting Ike and Gunn. And you'll need to be working for the Duke while he's in charge. Only outlaws get to fight me.
I fought Ike.
I heard.
And what does that get me?
You broke the rules. I know that works in life, but it doesn't in the arena. So you don't get anything from me here, apart from maybe a bit of respect.
I challenge you.
Forget it. You're not ready to fight me.
I'll wait here for you. I'm back with you. Go on.
Hey, you. You're new here. I don't know if anyone's told you, but the Duke, our glorious leader, King of the Desert, is raising taxes on his territory. And I am here to collect them.
So, what is that to do with me?
Look, I've told the Duke 1,000 times I'm not the guy for this. But if I don't get him the shards, he'll put a rope around my neck. Or my wife will. She'd do it for him. So do a guy a favor and hand over the money. After all, it's better than me and you ending up as food for the jackals.
Your wife would hang you?
She wouldn't want to. No, she's a lady of integrity. I would never say anything bad about her. It would be the Duke. The Duke would insist. My wife is a wonderful lady. Calm, majestic. She'd be a queen of the desert if there wasn't already a king. The Duke, our glorious leader, king of the desert, and lord of the outlaws. So are you going to pay? Listen, maybe you can ask me about it later. Now is not the right time, okay?
You're asking me to pay to be here?
Everyone has to pay tribute to the Duke, our glorious leader, king of the desert, and lord of the outlaws. So will you hand over the shards now? It'd be better for both of us. Really. You don't want to explain not paying to the Duke.
There's no tax. This is a con.
Why would I risk my neck to lie? I told you I don't want to be here. I know you're looking at me and not feeling that threatened if you don't pay, but the Duke stands behind me. Mess with me and you mess with the Duke. And no one here is going to let that happen.
Here, take the shards.
That's not enough, I'm afraid. That's only half the amount I need, that the Duke needs for the tribute. I know it feels like a lot, but I didn't make the rules. That was the Duke, our glorious leader, king of the desert and lord of the outlaws.
You're not taking shards from me without a fight.
No, you don't want to fight me. Deny the Duke and it won't just be me you're fighting. You'll be fighting everyone here.
No one's going to help you. And no one in their right mind would send you to collect shards. I'm not paying.
But are you crazy? You'll risk that?
I'm not paying.
Okay, I'll admit it. I spent all my wife's shards. She found out, and if I don't earn them back, she'll be wearing my balls for earrings. I've got to get the shards to replace what I spent.
What did you spend the shards on?
Well, you know, men's things. Yeah, I know that made it worse, but it's not like that, honestly. I love Cindy, and I can't get to see her without paying her. Not that it matters. Madison will beat the shit out of me if she finds I've seen a prostitute. She'll kill me if she finds out I'm in love with Cindy. So, I've got to get those shards if I want to keep walking.
Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna go eat. Then we're gonna come back and continue on. Till later, guys.